Good morning, Singapore. We'd like to welcome everyone's favorite psychologist, Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, and Shaun brought me my shirt.
That's so cool.
I know, and it's 91.3.
Thank you so much for wearing the shirt, Jerry.
It was on my calendar. I had to remember. It was wear the tea.
Yeah, I love it.
Wear the tea.
Okay, so this morning I hear we're going to be talking about clowns.
Yes, after yesterday, because I was doing my sessions yesterday, and my phone went off non-stop on all the parenting not apps, but the WhatsApp groups,
chats,
right?
Yeah.
And I was like, why is it flooded with the same picture? And I was like, is it a hoax? Is it, But it turned out not to be a hoax. So I thought I'll pick it up today since, it's fresh yesterday, hot, from the oven. Yep. Yes and no.
And what are your thoughts on the company using clowns in that manner?
I think it's very unfortunate. I don't know who did the marketing. I don't know whether they've thought it through. I mean, I just found out from FD this morning that in the traditional clowns don't talk.
Yeah, when I talk,
I was quite blown away because I was like, oh, but then why are we using it for a speech,
Because the traditional clown is a circus clown, and circus clowns don't talk.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought circus clowns talk. They shout, they scream.
They shout
they
and
don't.
scream. They don't talk.
They use a lot of sign language.
Sign language.
These are the
but they don't
traditional
talk.
ones,
the
though.
traditional clown.
Bozo
Shaun?
the clown spoke, right?
Bozo did. Ronald McDonald did.
Yes.
But the traditional clown doesn't.
According to Eric Stone Street, who is the clown on Modern Family, he talks about clowns coming in all shapes and sizes and in different forms, and there are different clowns for different activities. So like children's parties, magicians, stuff like that. So a lot of different types of clowns.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
My mother also called me a clown, so sometimes.
I don't have an issue with clowns per se. I think, and I'm not going to talk about like yesterday's event, whether it's marketing or the safety aspect of it, because there are more than enough parents talking about the safety aspect. I thought I wanted to pick up something else about clowns, which is the phobia part.
Of course.
Right? Why are people so afraid of clowns, especially children?
I mean, if you look carefully, a clown is quite weird, right?
He's
And a
hideous.
clown has a very
FD, you got an issue with clowns, is it? Like you're so
think he was afraid of clowns
angry.
when he was
You want to kill a clown this morning or something?
no. Poor FD.
I think FD may have. I've had colleagues who have, these phobias, these clown phobia. A few colleagues, and I'm beginning to think that FD is one of them.
It's not that. But
Oh,
take a look at it.
you were working with her once. She was terrified of clowns, absolutely terrified.
But take a look at a clown, and you cannot say that's a pretty face.
Yeah, but we grew up with
Some
clowns.
of them are cheerful.
It's disproportionate, and it's
Yeah,
not
it's
cute at all.
It's not cute at all.
It's us saying that it is cute. It's got a big red nose. It's got a white mouth.
This is very hurtful
and
to
Joker
clowns
has a
all
white
everywhere.
mouth
Right?
also, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we watch movies like Patch Adams and all that, and he did good. I mean, he didn't dress up like a clown, but that red nose, he was funny with the kids
The
and all
Modern
that.
Family one also was good.
And I remember when I was growing up at birthday parties and all that, we used to have clowns there, and I was never scared of the clown. Neither were the people who were at the party. So I think clowns are misunderstood now because
different people have different phobias, right?
I've seen people cry, when they see Santa Claus.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Anybody in a costume, kids are afraid of. Some kids.
Yes. Yes.
Yep, exactly.
And that is the
That's what
problem.
we're
So
talking
why are
about.
we taking it out on the clowns? There are people who work as clowns for a living.
That
Yes,
is true.
Yes. But there is a real thing. There is a fear of clowns called chorophobia.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yes, and the fear of mascots or fear of masks called masculophobia.
Oh.
So these are real things. These are real things, and people, it's irrational fear, right? So phobias are irrational fears that we can't seem to try and explain it. We can try and figure out some of the cause and then treat it. So some reasons could be like negative experiences, right? If you have a negative experience, or somebody kind of scared you with it, or told you that, if you're naughty, this character will come and catch you. If you have a phobia running in your family, then maybe you're a bit more susceptible to it. Or the show, the media depiction. I don't know what show is it. Is it the
It,
So
yes.
Pennywise.
I think after that show, there was so many kids that were so afraid of clowns.
Well, kids shouldn't be watching it in the first place.
And sewer drains
My
as well.
goodness.
What was the rating, or what is the rating?
I'm sure it's quite high, right?
I'm sure it's
the
M18.
rating.
No,
The
but you
rating.
got to
Shows
remember
M18.
when it first came out, there were no ratings. That's how far it goes back.
The original one, lah.
The original ones had no ratings when it came out.
Yeah, and kids at that time who watched the original one are your age right now, FD.
No, but
Right.
we
The
do see
2000
clowns in a different light.
The 2017 one was rated NC-16.
Yeah.
That's okay. They are not kids anymore.
Yeah.
So these phobias are very, very real. One of my kids, when she was growing up, had a phobia for clowns. We couldn't even take her to a circus. She'd scream.
There?
So
That-
where
that's
did it come from?
I put it down to what you see. We can have an N16, say, for a movie. Does that hide your child from the image of that clown?
Exactly.
No,
No, I
yeah.
completely understand. Which is why you should have admitted that, one of your daughters had a problem with a clown. Because it was very, very obvious. I'm sitting here wondering, what is this? I can feel this rage coming from FD with regard to clowns. It's not natural. But
Is
now
that what
now,
it is?
No,
But now that
no,
you
it's
mention,
not- no,
you've
it's
mentioned
not
it,
it's not a. No, you're wrong, Glenn. It's not a rage.
irritation.
It's not even an irritation. My irritation is with the fact that this clown was used in. I have nothing against clowns. My irritation was with the fact that this clown was used outside of a primary school
Yeah.
without regard for what could have gone wrong.
So there are a
And
few
you
ways.
are an enrichment center.
Yeah.
That's what I'm angry at.
There are a few ways
That
it could
is
have been done. They could have held a sign. They could have done it down by a mall. They didn't have to be at a primary school.
Or wear a T-Rex costume.
Yeah, exactly. Something else that's not as scary, but they should have at least held a sign of what they were doing. This guy, I mean, I don't know the pretext of the picture that was going around on social media, but he could have was he holding up any signs before that? Was he talking to anyone?
know.
We don't know. So the media will always pick up the worst part of the image, right, and then show that to us.
Well,
right?
looking at the photo, I think what you mentioned earlier on, Angel. Yeah, I think that's the main issue. These clowns were not wearing masks during
right?
this time, right?
Yeah.
They should have at least been wearing a mask, but
Or unless he had one of those masks that had a clown face on it, which is highly possible. I've seen them. They look ridiculous, but it would suit his outfit anyway.
But other than that, as a marketing campaign, I would have thought the authorities at the school would have come out to question the clown.
True. You
And,
can't
and,
just
and
have
found
outside
out and
school.
found out what it was about
Yeah.
from the
Yes.
very beginning, rather than just leave the clowns outside of the school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if you ask me, I think it's a failure of the schools.
School screen.
As well. Yeah.
Security, right? Because
Yeah.
look, we work in this industry, the entertainment industry. We've come up with worse marketing campaigns, right? As radio people, we have always gone the shock method. This, that. So who are we to say this? It's hypocritical. I understand. What the marketing objective was. It was just done, it could have been done better, but I
Better,
really
yeah.
don't think that it should have blown up to this level.
I think using the clown itself was not so much the issue. It was where the clown was placed. It was how it was done. I mean, clowns in general, people like in general. It's only a small percentage of people who are afraid of them, right? I think. So it could have been done much better for sure.
And I think what made it worse was, not worse, but the spotlight. More spotlight was thrown on this because Tan Chuan Jin got involved, right? And he said, stop the viral marketing nonsense. So when someone in the government comes up and says something like that, everyone jumps on the bandwagon as well.
Yeah,
Jerry, what's your take on all of that we've just said?
I mean, I really wonder, all of you, whatever that you've said is really echoing what the masses are saying.
Oops.
What made them, what was the intention, I suppose. It's so scary. I think it was quite worrying, and I don't know, like Angel said, we don't know what went or was occurring before that. We don't know what they were doing before that, before the children came out, or in any other context. We only have one photo to go on, and a couple of letters that the schools have sent out, to say not to approach these people, which is the right thing to do, because we always remind our children not to talk to strangers, not to to walk away when someone approaches you, especially if somebody dressed up like that, right?
Yeah. Does it make it any less scary if the person wasn't dressed up as a clown and doing exactly the same thing?
I don't know. I mean, how would you feel if a clown suddenly approached you, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, or somebody with even whether they're masked or unmasked, and in a mask that looks like a clown's mouth.
Yeah. I think in a nutshell, nobody should be approaching primary school kids to recruit them. If that's what the idea was, they were trying to spread the word about their center.
That
correct?
is true.
Wait, but
nobody should be standing outside.
But I thought they were not
should
talking.
go to the school.
They were not talking.
Were they not? Who?
Well, I mean, I heard from you guys these clowns didn't talk.
No,
They
I
weren't
said
talking.
No,
I said
that's not what he
traditional
said.
clowns
Traditional
don't talk.
Don't speak.
We never spoke about this clown.
They were trying to recruit the kids to come to the enrichment classes, right?
For speech, for public speaking, right?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what it was,
Target,
right?
the parents.
So if that's the case, then everyone should have known already what they're trying to do.
Nobody knew because it wasn't clear. It was just a clown person in a clown suit. And as Dr. Jerry says, no one knows the pretext to the image.
Yeah, but someone just said that they spoke to the kids, right?
No, we didn't say that.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I just heard you guys saying it. Sean, did you just hear them say it?
Okay. The schools are saying, or what was written in the letters out to the parents are, do not let your child, if the clowns or anyone approaching your child, tell your child to go away. So that's what it's said in the letters.
You know what, Jerry? I think this is just a classic case of people who just don't know how to communicate.
Yes.
If you were there outside the school, right, picking up your kid, and you see the clown there, wouldn't you question the clown? Wouldn't you try and find out why the clown is there? We've had this clown outside the school, God knows for how many days.
Yeah.
Don't know.
And no one could put a stop to this. Not even the security at the schools or a teacher coming out to communicate. This is the problem with Singapore. We don't know how to communicate.
No, but how do you deal with kids who have phobias like this?
Okay, so we need to identify the phobias first, right? So you have anxiety, you have the children crying, they will tell you, oh, I can't breathe, or there's this urge to run away from that particular source, that even the thought of it is like, oh, the world is going to crash, So there were some children, after the show, it was shown, I think there were some children that were even afraid to talk about it, So whether it's Chucky, so when they have a phobia, it was just too much to even talk about that subject. The panic, the sheer panic that they feel. The second they see whatever is causing their phobia, they run the opposite direction, shaking, trembling. And if you notice all these signs in your children, pay attention, because it could be indicating that they are extremely scared. Yeah, so if they do have phobia, so there's a difference between they're so scared and they have a phobia. If they're scared, you probably have to speak to them about it. They probably still can function. If they have a phobia, they put themselves in danger, or they cannot function at all.
Hold on, Angel. I just want to clarify this. So we are no longer talking about the clowns outside the schools, right? You are talking about
The
phobia of kids being afraid of clowns, or anyone who might be in a costume, for example. Just to clarify, in case people who are tuned in right now are thinking that kids who are exposed to that clown have been affected. So we need to clarify that.
Yeah, she was talking about the movie It.
Yes.
So after seeing that, there have been children who have sort of gained that phobia. But Dr. Jerry, I've seen a lot of instances where, whether it's at the zoo or at a party, where kids are terrified and crying because they see a certain image. It could be a clown, it could be Barney, it could be Elmo, it could be anything that they're afraid of. Yeah. And parents are going, oh, don't worry, don't be scared, and this and that. What do you say to parents? Because the fear is real, right?
Yep, the fear is real, but the parents don't know whether they're just scared or whether it is a phobia.
But either way, isn't that something to calm your kids down about, and don't force them to be in front of this image that they're afraid of?
Yes, but being an adult, sometimes you forget, you see. And I have a confession to make. I did forget, because when my little boy was really, really young, we went to Disneyland. And Disneyland, you have Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and all the different mascots, right? And I was going, oh my God, I want to take photos with them. And I had my little boy in my arms at that point, and he was dragging away, but I really wanted that photo. So I stood there, and I still have that photo. He was pulling away from the mascots, and I was trying to smile for the camera with the two mascots, right? And so sometimes we do make that mistake where we go, okay, maybe I should pay attention to your fear. And they do look quite weird because they have big heads. They're bobbing around with human bodies. So it does look quite disproportionate if you look at the mascots from the children,
from a child's perspective,
the little toddler's point of view, right?
Yeah. So did your son outgrow it? And do kids usually outgrow childhood phobias?
If it's just a fear, they learn that these mascots are safe. And they know they can function around them, they can walk around them. But some children just get really frightened. So it's an irrational fear. So we're looking at irrational fears where they just can't get rid of that worry that they're not safe. Yeah. Don't you have a character that you're kind of uncomfortable with? Mine's Teletubbies.
Oh, uncomfortable with.
You don't like the Teletubbies?
No.
But they're so cute.
No.
I don't like Barney. He's just annoying.
But annoying and scared of is...
No, I'm not scared. No, I'm not scared of any characters.
I'm not scared of Teletubbies either. But there are some characters that we are kind of uncomfortable about.
Only my exes.
Yeah. The Teletubbies seem kind of odd as well. Yeah, they do.
But so many people around the world, like Disneyland, everyone who's been to Disneyland, right? I mean, we go down there and we see the kids, they're all they're all taking photos with Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse and Cinderella and Snow White and you kind of like think to yourself, yeah, okay, some kids may have a phobia of these characters, but the majority of kids don't. What do we do then with the kids who have phobias? Do we train them to love these characters or what? Because I don't think any of us have phobias, right? I mean, we grew up with these characters at shopping malls, and we've been to Disneyland and all that. And I don't know. I mean, FD, your kids, I mean, you've been to Disney? Were they
They grew
ever
out of
scared?
it.
Were they ever scared?
They were scared of clowns, yeah.
No. Let's forget clowns. We're not
you're
talking
asking
about
me
clowns.
if they were scared
No,
of
I'm
a
talking about
character.
Disneyland. I'm talking about Disneyland. The characters,
There
costume.
are clowns in Disneyland, Glenn.
Oh no. Okay, let's not. Okay,
So
Okay, no,
forget
he's
the
talking
clowns.
about the Disney characters.
If
don't
you're
wanna
talking
talk
about Disney,
clowns.
if you're talking about Disney characters, there are none to be scared of.
You see what I mean? But then, according to Jerry, kids
Her
are
son.
scared of
There
those
are
Disney
some.
characters.
There are some. For example, where was I? One of the worlds in Queensland, and it was Batman. Batman
Movie
can be
world.
scary to some people.
Movie world. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it's possible. It is possible. But my kids were never scared of those sort of characters. They were
Okay.
scared of others.
But I think, all these characters as well, I may be going off point. These were all characters created by adults,
Yes.
supposedly for children,
Yes.
right? So, as you said, your child, your son was afraid of Mickey Mouse. So, who creates a mouse's head on a human body? Do you know what I mean? Like, no child would do that. Children would actually draw the mouse. But it is the adults that kind of like have created these characters, and they're forced upon the kids when they become so popular. And then you create like Disney World, and then you create all sorts of movies like Batman and Spider-Man and all that.
So they learn. So do they grow out of it? They learn that they are safe, and we live alongside them. So they don't, reject them. Yep. So those with phobias are slightly different. Like I say, the muscular phobia, the coulrophobia, those are phobias. So those are slightly different. And I think FD was asking how do we treat them? So we do exposure therapy, not to make them love these characters, but to ensure that they are safe. These children or these people are safe in the presence of these mascots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a plus point, if your kid is extremely afraid of, Disney characters and all that. You know what the plus side is?
You don't have to buy all the stuff.
And you don't have to spend money to go to Disneyland.
I know.
We have a viewer on our Facebook page, Ethosto Win, said that my Hong Kong Disney adventure ended in 10 minutes because my children were afraid of the mascots. So,
See,
yeah.
my take on this is the mascots are strictly a money-making
Yes.
venture.
Yeah.
Most of these characters were never created for that. They were created for cartoons. They were created for movies where they are far away from you.
Behind the screen.
Yep.
And suddenly now these characters are in your face. And that's my take. That's why kids get scared.
Well, that's
Because
the
they're as you said, they're out of proportion. They're not quite right. But children are used to being around family who are in proportion and look a certain way. And then suddenly these characters don't look that way. And that's scary for them.
Yeah, it's commercialization for sure, but for the longest time, they've turned characters from the screen into figurines.
Yeah.
Right. You have your cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
Where when you're playing with them as little kids, they have all sorts of stuffed toys, and this goes back to even your time, FD.
Actually, speaking of that, there is one character that I was afraid of that I met at Movie World. The guy with the hands, not Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
Freddy
Krueger.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Freddy scared the hell out of me.
Right.
Freddie scared the hell out of me.
I know. But that's horror story. That's horror stories. But I think very closely linked to all these characters are pranks. Because these characters play a lot of pranks. If you think about the cartoons carefully, they kind of jab at each other. They pull silly things on each other, and some of them are quite okay. Some of them are not very nice. I mean, look at Tom and Jerry. I love to watch Tom and Jerry, but some of the things are downright mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so what do you say about kids who play pranks on others?
I mean, what I would ask, what do they want to do to the other person? So what is the purpose of playing the prank? Because we do that with our friends, right? And when come April Fool's Day, 1st of April, we also pull pranks. So do you remember, like, the worst prank or the best prank played on you?
Yes.
Oh no, FD, you're on a roll today. Go for it.
Glenn and the team, when I walked into the studio and they were not there and they made me work the panel.
Oh,
Your
what?
birthday one.
Really?
My birthday. And I will tell you, till today, I get a funny feeling whenever I stand behind a panel.
Wow, Glenn, look what
Till
you
today.
did.
Till
Oh
today.
my goodness! Wow.
No, I mean, but I realized, and I think all pranks are like this. They're never done with the intention to hurt. They're done just for the fun of it.
Yes.
That's the idea behind a prank.
I
You're not there
don't
to
know.
hurt somebody.
I don't know if I agree. Have you seen the stuff that goes on TikTok now?
Yeah.
There are a lot of these TikTok challenges that end up being pranks. I mean, Shaun, you know TikTok. There are so many, like, I don't know, I can't even name them, but they turn out to be pranks and they know the danger behind it. Of course, they don't hope it happens, but that can't be out of good intention, right? Is that just stupidity or
Just being,
No, it's termed as fun. If you ask these people, they will all say the same word.
for fun.
It's fun. It's just for fun.
Yeah, but it's for fun for the people who do it, not for the person who's getting it done too.
And we're talking about pranks at this point in time. Pranks and extreme pranks as well on TikTok, like what Angel was talking about. But I'm thinking about pranks, right? And it's been around for a long time, part of popular culture. I think we grew up watching things like Candid Camera, America's Funniest
Gotcha.
Home Videos, Gotcha here in Singapore. I mean, all those are pranks. And FD revealed early on that a prank that Andre, Shaun, and myself played on him a few years ago on his birthday has scarred him.
No, I wouldn't say it's scarred. It's left me with an uncomfortable feeling. I wouldn't say it's
Can
scarred.
you identify the uncomfortable feeling?
Sorry?
Can you identify the uncomfortable feeling?
Yeah. If I stand behind that panel now, I remember panic. I remember panic.
Yep. So what pranks do to us, right, is to cause our brain to think that we are in danger. So FD that day felt that he was in danger
Yeah.
of ruining the
Yeah.
show, So he
Yeah.
had to pick up all the pieces. The body goes into a little bit of a shock, not quite, like a clinical shock, but your body goes like, this can't be happening. So that's how the body responds.
But isn't that what a
And
prank
why
is
you laughing?
about, right? That's what a prank is about, right? You gotta feel a little bit of it, right? Either shock.
Yeah.
But it can
True.
go very, very wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
When I was in the university, so we don't really mix with the medical students, but we were told stories like one of this a med student, and they were working really, really hard and long nights, right? And they have that skeleton. They have a name for the skeleton. I cannot remember what the name is. So one of the med student went to sleep. And another med student was really like, just for the fun of it, place the skeleton on the person.
Yipes.
Well, Shaun, you're laughing, but when this person woke up seeing the skeleton, the med student never found the sanity back again.
Oh no.
Yeah. Can you imagine the shock?
And I think pranks are awful because there are some pranks that can cause heart attacks as well. When people like jump out from behind something or they scare someone at home. I think they're awful. I hate pranks.
So pranks really started from many, 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 many years ago, ancient times, right? So there are three things that oddly it kind of means. The first one is the Freudian, how he kind of interpreted everything, and he called it hostility. Meanness, just sheer meanness, but packed with that whole laughter, and you have a whole lot of people laughing, or you have a good laugh out of it, but the intent is hostility. The second one seems to be better, which is playfulness, an attempt to diffuse the situation, but if done wrongly can go very wrong, right? And then the last one is trying to dominate, gaining that upper hand, Boo, I can scare you, and you are beneath me.
Is the last one a little bit of a bullying tactic as well?
No, it might not be. It might not be. Remember that it's a prank, right?
Yeah.
Everybody laughs at it, but it's showcasing dominance that I've got the upper hand and you don't.
But there's some people that continuously do pranks. That's why they call them pranksters, right? Are those people also classified as bullies because it's repeated behavior, like you mentioned?
It could be. Yeah, so these pranksters, I think there was a research done that sometimes those that prank a lot, they find it hard to trust people, and people find it they find it hard for people to for them to obtain acceptance and love
From others, right? Yeah.
So what are we saying here? Are we saying that we should never play a prank on anyone?
No, but I guess the intent is very important, and to be very mindful, like, the joke that you're playing, because we know that jokes can go very, very wrong.
But it's subjective, right? It's subjective. Sometimes, just like, we're only finding out from FD today that he feels this way.
Yeah,
right?
because to me, I knew why they did it. Right?
And it was actually harmless, right?
Yeah, it was totally harmless. And honestly, if I had done that to Glenn, I would never have thought that panic would set in. It's not something that comes across your mind.
And I would not have panicked. That's the thing. That's why I'm saying that we're all
I'm
different.
saying if you were me,
Different.
I am sure that when you guys planned the prank, you never thought of panic.
Yeah.
You probably thought, what the hell's he gonna do? But you never thought of my internal panic, which is why it was done out of fun. So it's it's no big deal. If I feel uncomfortable behind a panel now, I feel uncomfortable.
No, but we have to take people's feelings into consideration, which is why I'm asking the question, right? Should people play pranks? Because I refuse to sit down here and be a hypocrite, because when I was younger, I used to play pranks on people all the time. So I can't sit here right now and say I'm against pranks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just want to say something. Like, I'm fairly new to the show, but I do not take pranks well. So at any point in time where you guys think you can play a prank
Morning,
on me,
Julian.
please don't, okay? Please
We
don't.
will never think of. We only prank the
National
people
radio.
we love.
No, but have you played a prank on anyone, Angel?
No.
Never
No.
ever in your whole life?
No, it's not something I do because I know how it would feel like for the other person. It's just I don't play games. That's it. It's just I don't play with emotions, and I feel that pranks are playing on someone's emotion.
Okay. FD, have you played a prank on anyone?
I've played the kind of pranks I play are very April Fool, innocent, cover your telephone because today they'll be blowing air through the telephone lines to clean the phone. That kind of prank. I don't think I've played. Not that I will not say I never have. I will say that I can remember. I will not say I never have.
Shaun?
Oh, of course. We only prank the people we love.
Oh, worst prank you guys have done then?
Oh.
Or we can do it on Facebook and get everybody to jump
Okay.
over. 'cause
All
now
right.
they're
I tell you
online.
what. Let's play a song right now. Here's Roxette. It Must Have Been Love. If you want to find out what kind of pranks, Shaun has played, and perhaps maybe myself as well, just watch us on the Big Show TV. Julian Ko has checked in already as well. We've got something very, very interesting to talk about on what do you call Julian's segment as well. Petty. What was it? Petty cheating.
Yep, petty cheating's on the road.
What is that all about?
Okay, Shaun, prank.
Sure. Okay. I'll say something. We once pranked a colleague of ours so he was on MC and he didn't really we back in the day we didn't have space. We didn't have office space. Right, so everything was hot desking. So he was very adamant about having a space for himself. So when he went on MC, we took out his space and we cleared his computers, his locker, his drawers, and we cleared it and we replaced it with another colleague's belongings, and we printed out pictures and stuff like that. So when he came back, we said that you don't have a desk anymore. We give the bosses gave the desk to somebody else. So he went into a I think he
Rage?
almost had a stroke.
Oh no!
And was so angry, he almost burst into the boss's office and started shouting at the boss, but we held him back lah. And after we told him that it was just a prank and everything, everybody was laughing, but he was still very, very angry at the situation. At us, he loved us, but still the stroke feeling was there.
Upset.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
See, so much fun.
Well, does Glenn want to have a go at it?
Sure.
We
When I was in
waiting
when I was in the army, while someone was taking a shower, this was not during BMT. This was much later on.
In unit already lah.
Yeah, unit. So while the person was taking a shower, we we took away his towel and everything. And so, he was shouting and screaming like, hey, give me back my towel, All of us just went back into the bunk. We shut the doors and everything. So he had to come out naked.
So
And he was like banging on the door and all. So I don't know whether he's scarred for life or whatever.
you will never forget his towel.
Yeah.
It's so funny. As you relay the stories, they're not at all funny. But I'm sure at that moment, they were hilarious.
Oh, hilarious.
it's-
Absolutely hilarious.
It's pranks. I feel are one of those things that it's like you have to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of those moments
I
where you
want
have
to
to
put
be there.
it out there, right? So
Yeah.
I hear FD, I hear Sean's friend, almost having a stroke. And we know stroke is very, very close to my heart because my colleague had a stroke. And I think one thing to remember is that I want everyone to play. And that's one thing I always encourage people to have fun, to play. But let's remember to respect the other person. Let's remember not to put them in danger. So where Sean's friend felt like his career was on the line, was in danger, that must have caused a lot of different emotion coursing through his veins, right? And I think he felt very disrespected that he was not part of the team. So FD1 is slightly different actually. I think it's the opposite. The whole entire team was celebrating your abilities. They acknowledged the fact that you could hold your own. They just didn't realize that you felt so much in danger. Yeah, but I think it's a celebration. So your birthday was a celebration of your abilities, FD.
But I still stand by the fact that when someone plans a prank, ill will is never there.
Yes.
We only prank
It's
the people we
never
love.
there. No one plans a prank with ill will. I am going to do this so that I can hurt you.
Well, I wouldn't
so
say
that
no
I can
one.
get
I
back.
wouldn't say
well,
no one.
majority.
Yeah, majority. Yeah.
I'm going to do this because it's going to be damn funny.
Yeah.
And that's it. And
Yeah.
that's the innocence of a prank.
But it's only damn funny to the people that do the prank, not to the person that's pranked, right? The person that's pranked
Sometimes
never really laughs.
years later, when you look back at it, it's damn funny lah.
Depends on the person as well. lah.
Yeah, it depends on the person, right?
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
I talk to the person who was naked, banging on the door, maybe he was scarred for life after that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you should
As
send
a
him a
result of
message
that.
and ask him, "How's your towel today?"
Oh, Angel! It's like rubbing salt into the wound.
Right?
Well, if he wasn't scarred, he'd be fine, right?
No. I don't regret playing those pranks. I mean, those were good times.
Yeah.
Nowadays cannot lah, but
Right?
yes, back in the day.
Nowadays, it's a lot harder. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are a lot more sensitive.
You know what? So I go with this mental toughness. If you don't have it, this is what happens.
You can
Which will not be endorsed by Dr. Jerry, of course, what I just said.
I still stand by not putting someone in panic mode.
Yeah.
I think when we want to play a prank, and I guess why Glenn, your prank seems to be rather okay, is because you're there to catch the person. The person is not in any dire danger. Yes, a little bit more vulnerable, all naked and everything. But I guess when you're in NS, you see everyone naked anyways, right? So it's not like, okay, I'm going to do something to your body or something like that.
Yeah, but when
But I
you're
think
the
that's
only
a-
one, in the corridor trying to get in, that's another story altogether.
Sergeant
But
comes
I
out like,
think
"Oi,
that's,
what are
a,
you
that's a
doing?"
really nice thing that you said. I mean, if you're going to be playing a prank, make sure you're there to catch the person.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
make sure that the person is safe and in a safe zone. I think that's a really nice thing that you said.
So, the
Yes.
team needs to let FD know that you've actually got his back that day.
Yeah.
But you
Oh,
were
I
just
knew I knew
walking
that.
out.
No, I knew that. Once I knew it was a prank, I knew how close they were. So I knew if anything happened, they
They'd
would
be
jump
there.
in. But that didn't take away from the fear. At the same time, I don't hold it against them because it was a damn funny thing to do. I can imagine them sitting in that room, listening to me, absolutely peeing themselves laughing.
So you did the whole show or just a little
it
bit?
was-
No, it
Oh,
was just
like
just
15
This whole thing was like 3 minutes.
We had the whole video
Oh.
crew here as well. We had
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you
hidden
know.
hidden cameras and everything.
Yeah. So
wow.
at the end of the day, I know that they, as much as I feel really uncomfortable when I stand behind a panel, but I know at the end of the day, they had
you're back.
no, they not only they had my back, they had fun.
Right.
And there was no malicious intent behind it whatsoever.
Yep.
Yeah, but now
You
that
know,
we
and-
now that we found out how you feel,
Right?
we'll not play anything with you anymore.
You'll be mindful.
we'll leave you alone. FD.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I also want to talk about pranks. I want to, dissect it and to let everybody know, yes, play, but don't put the person in danger. Don't disrespect the person and be there to catch them. Let them know you've got their back. Yeah. So that's what I want to send everyone, that message. So pranks have a very bad name. So do clowns now in Singapore, but it's not that bad.
I think one thing that has come out of this whole thing is I think parents now have got to spend a little time with their kids and remind them that clowns aren't bad.
Yes.
Okay, wait, last
I
time
think
we go
that's
back.
really important.
All right, let's wrap. Dr. Geraldine Tan.
You want to wrap me up?
Wrap
you up. Yes. Okay. With all that talk about clowns and about pranks, I actually want to send another message out to everyone, right? And I still want everyone to play. Just play safely, And so this George Bernard Shaw, who says, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave you with that. And Julian, you've got a fun topic, so please bring the energy up again.
I will.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. See you next
Thanks,
week.
Jerry.
Bye.
See
See you
you.
next week.